Astro Podcast is filmed on Studio Cloud9.
Hi, how's everyone today? It is Friday, December 15th, and this is Astro Podcast with Jody Charami. This will be my last podcast of the year, so thank you for being here.
Astro Podcast is produced by Power Boots, LLC.
Oh, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well and ready for the holiday season. I hope you've gotten a lot of stuff done. That's another reason I'm taking my break. This is my last podcast of 2023. I will be back on the 12th, which is 3 weeks from now. On the 12th, I will be back with New Year resolutions. So today, with the moon in Capricorn on this Friday, it is meeting up with Pluto. So what does that mean? The moon meeting up with Pluto at the very last degrees, because Pluto right now is at 29 degrees up Capricorn. It is ready to move out with the middle of January, a little bit after January. As soon as Aquarius season comes in, Pluto will also be moving with the sun into there. A lot going on in the new year when I'll be back, and we'll talk about all the stuff happening. But you can also read your astrology report at cafeastrology.com, at astrologyanswers.com, at caner.com. Molly McCord also is on YouTube. She's great. So is Pam Gregory. So is Cam White, also is good, and he's for younger people, and he's quite exuberant and lots of energy. He's a Leo sun. Also, feel free to have a consultation with me, and right now it's 50% off, $10 for 30 minutes, which is not bad. And also there's a section on my YouTube page about certain things that you may not understand. You go there and look at that. That would be awesome if you went to my YouTube page and looked at that. Okay, so what's happening today with the moon meeting up with Pluto? That's at the very last degrees of 29 degrees of Capricorn. Basically, again, our emotions are digging deeply with moon in Capricorn. We are very stoic here, very ambitious, very ambitious here, Capricorns. Capricorn represents the number 10 in astrology. It's the 10th house. It's our 10th house. So it's the house of our fame, house of our work, acknowledgement for good works done. So with the moon in Capricorn, our emotional needs are for stability and for material things to show our stability and what it is we do to earn them, right? And we want long-term growth. We're not jumping at the bit here with moon in Capricorn. When we fall in love, it's usually kind of quick, and then it takes time to nurture that emotion that Capricorn moon feels. And they're very private with their emotions, Capricorn moon, just like Capricorn sun, just like Capricorn rising. Very private. They are cardinal signs, so the moon here is an initiator. So when they see something they want it, they go for it. But it's for long term, so it would take a long time for them. It could be someone that you dated for 5-10 years before you get married, someone like that with the moon in Capricorn. They have a difficult time expressing their emotions, so they show you by giving you nice things and taking you out to dinner, giving you flowers. They're very romantic that way. So with Pluto here, Pluto is asking the moon in Capricorn to rethink what love means in terms of long-term structure. The structure of marriage would fall under here. And as you can tell, marriage, the need for divorce created a whole new religion called Protestantism. When the King of England decided he wanted a divorce because his queen wasn't giving him the heir he wanted, He formed a new religion because the Pope and Catholicism does not believe in divorce. So there you go. That's what marriage and the paper of marriage represents, right? So now you get divorced, and so this is an institution that the moon in Capricorn meeting up with Pluto, maybe having a little powwow about, and see how that goes as time goes on, right? Because Pluto is at its very last degrees of Capricorn. So things have been changing for the past 20 years, especially for Capricorns and its opposite sign Cancer. Then also the other signs, Aries and Libra, are the other cardinal signs, and they're right now at this north and south node. And here we go. So the sun in Sagittarius is having a meetup with the galactic center because the galactic center right now is in Sagittarius. So what does that mean? That means that we are being given a lot of confidence and enthusiasm and having faith and believing that our dreams can come true during this magical time is when things can be realized. But you have to work for it. And it has to make sense to you. You wouldn't go for it, right? Not all dreams are practical. Like a computer. Imagine dreaming of a computer. How compatible. I mean, how crazy is that, right? Okay, so the other big news is that the sun will enter Capricorn on December 21st. And then on the 23rd, Mercury will be entering Sagittarius to join Mars, who's still there. And then the day after Christmas, there is a full moon. The day after, the 26th of December, there's a Cancer full moon. And as you know, full moons only happen when the sun is opposite of the moon at this time. So the sun is still in Capricorn. Has moved into Capricorn. And 5 days later, there is a Cancer full moon. And that Cancer full moon is going to be very nice for this holiday season. It's a nurturing moon. Cancers are very nurturing. They represent the number, and the number 4, it represents Cancers also. And it is at a degree of Cancer that is going to be very nurturing for us the whole season here. You're going to feel it. You'll be very emotional. You're going to want to host people. You want to feed people. You want to hug people, especially since when a water sign is in a moon, when the moon is in a water sign, like I have my moon in Pisces, another water sign, it really pulls out our emotions. So a moon in Cancer is different than a sun in Cancer person. The sun in Cancer person has the core of the Cancer persona in terms of inside they need emotional security. They will most likely stay in their hometown. They are attached to their roots. And as a moon in Cancer, you will also be attached to your roots and your mother. And so this is a good time for that. But if you don't have a traditional family, it's just a good time to be around nurturing people and your friends. You can get together, hug, give love. And then on the 29th of December, Venus leaves Scorpio and heads into Sagittarius. But before Venus leaves, which is 2 weeks from now, she is still in Scorpio. And while Venus is in Scorpio, she is very passionate and loves deeply and digs deeply into love. She's going to have some meetups with some outer planets. And when Venus in Scorpio has these meetings with other planets, you could become cranky during the holidays because Venus will be here all through Christmas and right up until the New Year celebration. You could get cranky. You could get jealous. There's going to be a lot of energy out there that is causing confusion, loss of identity. Um, Connecting to source is the best thing you can do, which is meditation, uh, breathing deeply and listening to nothing but maybe meditation music or my podcast. And really reaching deeply and letting go of things that you value but isn't working for you anymore. Maybe you're older, maybe you have a new job, maybe in a different situation, and the things you value aren't working anymore for you, and you keep running up against these things where you're getting frustrated, and you're like, oh, I've always did this, why isn't it working, what's going on? And that's when Pluto's involved, because if you haven't let go of it yet, Pluto will force you to let go. And with Venus and Scorpio, it can bring up some really deep-seated resentments, and jealousy is a big thing that occurs, especially during the holidays, because of presents, because of family dynamics of jealousy. As you can imagine, I don't need to describe the scenes there. So really be careful with what you say, with Mercury still in Sagittarius until Mercury stays in Sagittarius until the 23rd. So right around before Christmas and right around before New Year's. Sagittarius, Mercury can be blunt, and Venus and Scorpio can be jealous and think up of things that may be happening in a negative way to them. And as you can see out in the world already, people are at that point where they're doing a lot of damage to other people. It seems to go in cycles, and the full moon in Cancer will definitely exacerbate that, because again, Cancer is about mom, and we all know that the mom is the beginning nurturer of our life. And if somehow that's traumatic, things can be triggered easily during the holidays if you don't have the support system you need. And call for support. Call the hotlines if you need to talk to someone. That's why they're there. Also beware of other people that are out there that may be unstable and looking to do harm to others. Always watch out for that. And also, Cancer is the sign that has the most serial murderers born there. And again, it goes back to the mother, and the moon represents the mother, the nurturing, the emotional security and support we need. And when the moon's in Cancer, we need a lot of emotional support. We can be very emotional with a water sign here. I know the moon in Pisces, for me, I'm very emotional, and I love and I need a lot of attention. And so the Cancer moon would be also bringing those thoughts out, and it can really hurt people. So be careful with that. And you're going to feel that full moon a week after, so it's going to go into the new year. That full moon will still be activated and activating our inner needs. But on the flip side, because of that, and the sun opposite in Capricorn, who tends to be unable to express emotion a lot of times, the moon in Cancer can help bring out these emotional needs and wants and desires, especially during the holiday time, when 10 months later there's a ton of babies born. It's also going to be a very active time for that. If you want kids, it's a good time to try. If not, be very careful with the Cancer full moon after Venus goes into Sagittarius on 12/29. And Venus in Sagittarius here will love to travel. So a lot of people will most likely be traveling a lot around now, anyways, and also Venus will love sports, and there's gonna be a lot of sports going on around this time, also. And then the other thing is Mercury wakes up on January the 1st. It went retrograde last week and it begins to wake up on January 1st. It goes back. It's back all the way in Sagittarius. It wakes up in Sagittarius. And when does it retrograde into Sagittarius? On the 23rd, Mercury retrograde, which it is now, moves into Sagittarius. And it stays there all the way until January 1st. And when it wakes up, it's going to be back at the Sagittarius at 22 degrees. And then it's going to travel back again forward as it wakes up on New Year's Day back to that degree of Capricorn where had gone to sleep last week, which was, I believe, 8 degrees. So during all this time with Mercury retrograde, we're always reviewing, remembering, rewinding, redoing, and all these things contribute to it being a slowdown time of 2 weeks to almost 3 weeks here, which I'm going to take. In terms of families around, the kids are out of school, people visit, you cook, you clean, you wrap presents, you buy presents. So there's a lot going on. So in that hectic thing that's happening with Mercury asleep here, it's helping you to slow down if you need to. And also, if you're ordering things, you might realize that it might be coming in late or you're not receiving it on time. So these are things that can be happening, and I would just take that with a grain of salt as you're buying things and doing things. Just remember that. Be careful. And then on the 4th, Mars moves into Capricorn to join the Sun and Mars. So the other thing that's happening is that Mercury is going to meet up with Mars. All these things that are happening with planets are waking up. Also, Jupiter will be waking up on December 30th. And Jupiter is in Taurus, the sign of money, food, materialism, stubbornness, bullies, gourmet food, fine clothing. So Taurus brings all that out in us, which is nice because a lot of us like it or we don't like it, right? But if you're a Taurus person, you like all these nice things. There's nothing wrong with that because you're born here to appreciate all those things. As Jupiter wakes up in Taurus and Uranus prepares to wake up on January 20th, we're going to start to feel seismic shifts happening, especially with Pluto preparing to move into Aquarius with the Sun on January 20th and 21st. So the new year opens up with lots of fireworks. Boom, 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 everywhere. Internally and externally. The best thing we can do to prepare for anything is to have a center that we can go to and relax, a room we can go and chill out in, a movie we like to watch, something that we like to do that can calm us down and calm others down around us. So really practice these types of situations in terms of we already have so many things happening in the world that it's kind of confusing and happening so quickly that enjoying this Cancer full moon, being at home, being relaxed, feeling loved, feeling supported, and also giving love to other people makes you happy, makes your life better. So it's a good time to really hone in on the relationships that are really important to your growth. Unconditional love is very important during this time, which is what Christmas is about, what Jesus Christ represents is unconditional love, right? But it doesn't mean that with Neptune here awake and fogging things up, people don't want to try to take advantage of you. Neptune is also here awake and making also some movements with people on other planets here that might put a fog over your eyes. You might think they're something that they're not. Um, so that's another thing to think about is don't be vulnerable in such a way that someone can scam you, can hurt you, can follow you in a car and jump you. There's so many people out there right now, and the Cancer moon is really going to stir up that type of obsessiveness, especially with Venus now in Sagittarius. Venus will be a little bit bolder and want things and be impatient. So there's a lot of impatient energy going around with Sagittarius still. So really pay attention to your surroundings. Enjoy this holiday season. Happy New Year. We're heading into the year of the dragon, the wood dragon, in the Lunar New Year and the Chinese New Year. So there's a lot happening that's going to go really quick, like this, because Jupiter is going to shift into Gemini, Pluto is going to shift into Aquarius, and the South Node is already in Libra. So all three air signs are going to be very, very prominent. And air is, you can't see it, it moves quickly, but you need it to breathe, to live, to have a life, right? All four elements are important to our life, and air is very important. So whatever is happening out in the world, it's going to be on Earth as Pluto moves into Aquarius and leaves these final degrees of Capricorn with the sun. It's going to be quite magical and yet surprisingly crazy. And it's going to happen while I and volunteers and everyone who goes to Sundance Film Festival every year, which is a poster back there from 2022, the year we didn't have in person. All this will be happening under the Sundance Film Festival. So it'll be very exciting to see the movies coming this year. I think they're going to expose a lot of things that we maybe didn't know about with the documentaries coming out. And the movies will be probably telling you about how the future could go or could be. And then maybe a lot of personal stories about your own growth and how you learn from that and how you can share and help other people and also help yourself. Okay, so I will be back January 12th when the sun will still be in Capricorn, Venus will be in Sagittarius, Mars will be in Capricorn, and the sun will be in Capricorn, getting ready to meet up with Pluto, who is also in Capricorn. And they're going to meet up at exactly 29 degrees of Capricorn, the very, very last degree called the anaretic degree, because the final degrees are always about ending and then the beginning. You have an ending and beginning, 29-0, just like that, 29 degrees 0, right? And in between are these minutes. So it's going to be tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. They're going to meet up on the 20th and they're going to move into Aquarius together. And we will begin our journey in Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years till 2044. So get ready, strap on your seatbelt because air signs move quickly. If you have an air sign anywhere, you're most likely super fast when you're running. Sun, moon, ascendant, any one of those, and Mars also will probably make you really fast, and probably Jupiter too. So thank you so much for being here this year with me. I really appreciate you. I'm sending lots of love to you and your family and your friends. And to you, I wish you good luck in the new year. It's a great time to make New Year resolution. Write them down. Write out how you're going to accomplish these dreams, these things you want to make happen for you next year, because it will happen. If you set your intention where your energy goes, things flow. Okay? So I really appreciate you. I will be back January the 12th after New Year's, another week after that. Okay? I'm so excited to talk about next year with you guys. So, so excited. I truly appreciate you. And please subscribe and like. And to those who have, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Okay? Thank you. And I will see you next year at this